some of the people around town would come in the morning for their coffee.
Mm-hmm.
But I usually work the afternoon shift. I go in at 1 and work 4 hours. Supposed to work 4 hours.
So do you have any memories of any of the town people that would come in, that the regulars, as they would call them?
Well, I probably couldn't think of a name. I can see the person, but I can't think. There was one old guy, grouchy old thing, and come in there. And one time, what the heck was her name? They had this Mrs. Hubbard, or some of them that usually went down and done the morning shift, was sick and couldn't get in there, and they had substitute cook come in there, and this old guy, I can't think of his name now, he'd come in there and eat his meals in there, and she scorched his pancakes, and he was raving about that. And then so mad that I can't think of a name.
Did Mr. Hyder have...
Maroney.
Maroney.
I can't think of his first name, but he used to come in there. I guess it was Joe, because Charlotte Remington was married to him. She called one of her girls Tracy Joe and the other Jolene. So I guess his name was Joe. Anyway, he'd come in there to eat, and they always served him with a meal. They always served a couple of slices of bread. And if they didn't eat it, she'd take it back and let it dry out, and then make breadcrumbs out of it.
Sure.
And he'd come in there to eat, and when he got through eating, he'd stub out his cigarette butt in the slices of bread, because he paid for it. She wasn't going to get to use it.
He did that on purpose.
Yeah, he did. Definitely.
Oh, the ornery guy.
He didn't eat bread as a rule, but they always served it.
But he knew that she would use it for breadcrumbs.
Sure, he knew she
Oh, what an ornery thing to do. So did
the Nash girls, I don't know if you remember, their name was Clark.
Yes.
Deborah.
Deborah Clark's mother.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, I think it was Deborah and some girl. I don't think it was a sister. But anyway, they would come in there, putting her every day, and to play the jukebox. And they'd play this one dang song over and over and over, until I wanted to go out and break the record. Now I can't even think of the name of it.
What year was it? Was it like early 60s or?
Yeah, it would have been in the 60s when I worked there.
Well, I went to school with a Debbie Clark.
Did you?
Yeah, and her mother was a Nash. Her grandparents lived on Evans, going on up to the...
Not too far down from the old cemetery.
Right, right.
He built this house next door.
Oh, he did? Oh, wow.
I guess the oldest Tom, I guess he's still alive. Danny died a long time ago.
Yeah.
Danny was about the same age as my Kenny. I run into Kay. Pat saw her first and was talking to her down at the grocery outlet here quite some time ago.
She's very pretty.
Asked me if when he was talking to her, they asked me if I remembered her, and I said, sure, I remember her, you know. She hadn't changed in looks that
Yeah, yeah. In fact, I saw her daughter, Debbie, one that... I saw Debbie just the other day, and we were talking about.
I wouldn't know her. Now.
Yeah, she was my age. Her and I went to school.
I don't even know where she lives.
McMinnville. Yeah. So that might be why.
I think Kay lives down there.
Right, right. Yeah, definitely. So do you remember the Hiders at all? Otto Hider?
Yeah.
Do you have any good stories about...
I remember him definitely because we bought the house on Hill Street, or we were buying the house on Hill Street from Otto Hider. And my husband had appendicitis and had an operation. He couldn't work, so we couldn't keep up the payments on it. So Otto gave us a little old dump down on Box Street. I don't know whether there's a trailer there now or something there. He let us have that for our equity we had in that place up there.
Huh.
And we lived down there for a while. And we bought the house where Bud Thompson built his shop, that big old house that used to be there. We lived in it for, I don't remember now when we went in there, but we moved back out here in 1946, before Clifford was born.
So this was prior then. You were buying that house from Hyder before you moved out here.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
And we moved down there in 1943 to that house. It had about 3 or 5 acres with it up there. It was just outside the city limits of Sheridan.
And where was it again?
Right up about where Hebert's Road takes.
Oh, on Hill Street.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. So you were outside the city limits on top of Hill Street. Okay, now I get it. Mm-hmm. Well, you were really close. My parents bought the house on Center Street in 1943 from Mr. Huntley, Ernie Huntley. Mm-hmm. And they were living there prior to that.
The thing that I don't know anything about Otto Hyder other than a lot of stories I'd heard about him, what tricks he played on people and everything, you know, and not explaining the fine print of things. And my brother-in-law, my sister, was married to George Agee, and I don't think he ever did get him paid up.
Yeah.
He'd just about get something paid off, and then he'd have to borrow money to make the payments, and I don't think he ever did get Hyder paid off. And the thing I remember about her is seeing her riding lawnmower with her big hat on and her smock out
Callie.
there, riding the lawnmower and all that.
Callie Hyder. Yeah. Yeah, they had a beautiful, they were, now according to my mother, she lived with them when she was a teenager. They had the place on Main Street, and then they moved to the place they built out towards Willamina, that big place out towards Willamina.
Yeah, out close to Deer Meadows.
Right.
They've had that house built out there.
Right.
It's a Sheridan Inn now.
Right.
The lady that has it now is a Filipino lady. She's a friend of my daughter-in-law.
Oh, she is?
Kenny's wife is
Oh,
Filipino.
great.
And they go down there and visit her. And she and Vivian went to church together on Sunday.
Great.
They went over to the Trappist Abbey.
Oh, neat.
Over by Amity.
Yeah.
And I don't know, they went somewhere after that and ate and had a time. And they nearly always visit her every time they're up this way.
I